Okay guys, what I'm going to teach you today is body wraps with a nunchuck. This move here helps you transition to other techniques, give the nunchucks to different parts of your body so you can perform a different move. So the basic one that you can do is you're just going to hold the nunchuck with a little higher grip, and you're going to go ahead and let the chain hit like the side of your ribs or your hip. So if I'm doing a thumbs down, I'm just doing this motion. You should not be doing this where you're actually having the nunchuck, the wooden part, actually hit you. You should actually kind of let more of the chain hit you with a little bit of the wood. So it should not hurt, and it should go back and forth. So this is like across the body. You can actually bring it up higher if you want to. Just get a feeling of, the nunchuck's not hurting you. And you can actually bring it lower. You let it hit your thighs. You can actually let it hit, this is kind of dangerous here, but if you bend your knee, you can hit the inside and outside of your thigh. All right? Make sure you use discretion, don't hurt yourself. And you can do the same thing, other side, and bring it back to your hips, and you can also bring it back to your ribs. You can do the same thing as you're doing a thumbs up. You can hit your shoulders. Shoulders are, your biceps and triceps right here. You can go a little higher, come a little lower. You can also, do a little bit of your neck here. Just a little bit, left and right. So it's just basic body wraps right here. And you can switch it up and practice the same thing. What you can also do as a basic combination is I can have the nunchuck over my shoulder, and you can go ahead and hit your hip, bring it over your shoulder, like here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's just a basic combination with the body wrap. I'm going to be diagonal, down, hit the side of your hips, where it's the outside, bring it, other to the other hip, and just bring it over your shoulder. All right. You can also kind of come to the side of your ribs here too, and bring it up over your shoulder. See that? As I'm coming down, it's hitting the side of my ribs and coming back over my shoulder. So you can do a hip up, side of the ribs and back up, or just bring it up, ready to catch. All right, so there's some basic body wraps with the nunchuck. Alright guys, the over-under front hand exchange. This is one of the fundamental techniques that you need to learn with the nunchucks. You're going to start with the nunchuck, thumb facing down, and all you're going to do is going to throw it over my shoulder. And some styles they call this a simple up. You just lifting it up over my shoulder, and you kind of let the chain hit it. You're not like letting the actual stick hit your shoulder. You're just going to let the chain hit your shoulder. Alright, when you do this, sometimes people like to move the head to the side so you don't actually hit your head when you're first starting out. You have no control of your nunchuck. So if you want to move your head to the side at first, gain that confidence, you can do that as well too. So once you get this over your shoulder, you take your free hand and bring it close to your armpit. All right. So when it's right here, when you lift it up over that shoulder, it just goes straight in and you catch it. Now, once you do this a few times, all you're going to do is you're going to let go of the nunchuck up high and bring the nunchuck across your body and just repeat the process. Bring your hand underneath your armpit, throw it over your shoulder and catch. And you just switch. And you just go ahead from a side view here, over the shoulder, catch, bring it across your body, put your hand under your armpit, throw it over your shoulder and catch. And there you go. That is the over, under, front hand exchange. Under-over front hand exchange. It's a difference from the over-under front hand exchange. The only difference is I'm going to take the nunchuck and basically come down at a diagonal angle. All right, like you're doing your outward figure 8, but it's going to come down under your armpit and it's going to come up over the shoulder. When you do this, you can move your head to the side. So if you're afraid about getting hit with the nunchuck, but you want to have your palm up so you can guide this nunchuck into the hand. All right. So it comes down underneath the armpit and you're catching it, and you let go, Now you do repeat the process with your hand here, coming down and up and catching. And a side view here. Ooh. And that is the under-over front hand exchange. Is a transitional move in order to set up for other techniques you're going to be using. You're going to start out with a nunchuck, hold it with a high grip. You can do a middle grip if you wanted to too, but you're just going to bring the nunchuck towards you. All right, so you're going to feed it to the inside. So if I was bringing it, I'm going to lift the nunchuck up and bring it to my left side towards me, and then I'm going to do the same thing when it's back down, bring it away from you towards you. So it's like think about like an inward X. All right, now if I do a side view like this, it's coming to the left and then it's coming to the right. And how you get this motion is using your wrist. So I can easily move my wrist side to side to help me out. So I'm bringing it towards me and away from me. So notice I'm using it left and right, rotating my wrist. And a side view here. I'm going to start out coming towards me to the inside of my body and then away from me. And like I said, I'm flicking my wrist, moving my thumb left and right. And that is the inside figure 8 block. This move, we're going to set up with a simple up, bringing my hand, my nunchuck, over my shoulder. Now, for this move here, you're going to make like an X with the nunchuck away from you. So you're going to start with the nunchuck over my shoulder, and you can do a diagonal strike down. All right, so you're going to start up high and then low. And then you're going to, when it comes back up, you can do the same thing. Make an X starting high and low. So I'm just switching. This is an exaggerated version here, using my arms. But when we're actually doing it, we're using more of our wrist. And notice my thumb is moving left and right. So this is a strike. So I'm going to start on my shoulder, make the X, and then I'm going to open my armpit and catch. So it's going to go ahead, outward figure 8, open my armpit, catch. Again. And from the side view, over my shoulder, I'm going to make that X, open my armpit or my elbow, and catch. And lift it back up. And that is your outward figure 8 strike. The front strike. All right, guys, this technique is a very direct technique. I'm going to go ahead and hold the nunchuck in my chamber position underneath my armpit, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my nunchuck forward like my thumb would be facing my opponent or wherever I'm aiming the nunchuck at, and this nunchuck is going to basically propel, and the end of the butt of the nunchuck here is going to strike. So I'm going to be here, and notice I'm being very long with my arm. And after I'm done, I'm lifting up that elbow to catch the nunchuck underneath my armpit. And you should hear that nice snap too sometimes. And here's the side view of it, underneath my armpit. Extend that nunchuck out. If I have my thumb pointing, it'll be facing forward. And then open up that armpit and catch. And that is your front strike.